So the WNBA Rookie of the Year race, it is what it is. We've heard some really dumb takes from some really smart people, and we've heard some really good takes from some really dumb people. We've seen a resurgence in the politics sports genre, and we have seen the craziest Rookie of the Year race since Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons. Before we get on to things, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 14 or 18.5k as soon as possible. We are like 90 off. We're not going to do it by the end of the day, but if we could somehow do that, it'd be incredible. But, so, this happened on ESPN earlier today. This is what happened on ESPN earlier today. Basically, Caroline Peck, who again, a very good basketball coach, believes Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year and was looking for like any excuse to do it. She was like, I'm looking in at the plus minus and the I can't remember what other stat it was, but like it was genuinely a stat where it's like, okay, yeah, like the Fever were getting torched earlier in the year. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're losing close games if you're losing, and the Fever have a tendency to completely implode, whereas the Sky are this grit and grinded out team. The Fever, when they lose ugly. They've lost so many games badly this year. But that doesn't make any difference. Like, it is a stat where you're like, okay, cool. It can matter, but out of context, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Well, basically, she said, I don't want to show this because, again, ESPN will copyright strike me. She said, Angel Reese does all the gritty work. She does all the dirty work. And that things are a lot easier for Caitlin Clark because she's on the perimeter. And this has caused absolute outrage. And this is after the Monica McNutt dumbest argument I've ever seen. And by the way, Monica McNutt is smart. Dumb thing said by a smart person. Because now, if you guys have not seen, the Indiana Fever are now ahead. They're now ahead of the Chicago Sky. Even though Angel Reese just played tonight. And they lost. It's the same situation as what I thought was going to happen on Friday. And I think for the memes, Monica McNutt. Like, look, if you have any sense of humor, every single time the standing changes, you have to tweet out. You have to tweet out right now, Caitlin Clark is now Rookie of the Year with a picture of the standings. And then if Indiana lose their next game, who I think, it might be against the Mystics. But if the Indiana Fever lose their next game, you have to tweet out, Angel Reese is now my Rookie of the Year. Like, with a picture of the standings. Just, if you have any sense of humor, just do it for the end of the year. Look, stand by your take. Stand by your take. And if you have made a dumb take, like, stand by it. Like, I'm somebody, and in the 2022 playoffs, bet against the Celtics in 6 every round. Bet against the Celtics in 6 every round. And it made no difference. I bet I got wrong with, and I called Nets in 6. So I just memed it. I was so badly wrong. So I just memed that they were going to lose in 6 every round. And I looked so dumb. But at the end of the day, you live and die by the meme. Sometimes it works out when the Warriors win in 6. But sometimes the meme works out. But at the end of the day, look. When it comes to making sports takes, you can make a lot of dumb takes. I can guarantee you that I've made a lot of real dumb takes on this channel. And I've been only making this for a little bit of time. But when we're talking about what ESPN did, this is clearly someone who's on the side of Angel Reese. And by the way, everybody's going mad. I've seen so many YouTube videos talking about how ESPN are trying to rig the race for Angel Reese. They're only bringing people on that think Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year. No, it's not even that. It's literally a case. And I hate this argument that it's some like conspiracy against Caitlin Clark. This Rookie of the Year race is really close. His Rookie of the Year race is really close. Can we just stop talking about it like it's not really close? On both sides. Do I think Caitlin Clark is the best rookie? Yes. Do I think she's Rookie of the Year right now? Yes. Do I think she's going to win Rookie of the Year when it's all said and done? No. Because we know who the voters are. Historically, bigs have been treated as more important than guards in the WNBA. The problem is that a lot of the voters, a lot of people, they're bringing on former women's basketball coaches. They're bringing on former WNBA players, these type of players, who all are going to choose the big over the guard every single time. It is what it is. In the history of the WNBA, I'm looking since 2009. Am I right in saying since 2009? Yeah, since 2009, Diana Taurasi. 2009 was the last time a guard won MVP. This is a bigs league. And I'm looking on, if you know anything, you're like, if you're looking to say, oh, it says guard forward for Elena Deladon. Like, Elena Deladon, 6'5". Like, if you want to look, since the very, very start of the WNBA, Cynthia Cooper won it twice. You could argue Cheryl Cooper was a wing. A point guard has never won MVP. They have never given MVP to a point guard. So in women's basketball, the value of a point guard is almost nothing. In far rookie of the years go, sometimes guards win. Again, taller wing in Ryan Howard. Like, 2021 rookie of the year was terrible. Crystal Dangerfield. The last time a guard won over a good post player was Crystal Dangerfield. And that was in the damn bubble. That was in the bubble, and Crystal Dangerfield's out of the league. And to be fair, Kennedy Carter and Sadhu Sabali were in that draft class. I'm pretty sure there'd be only 3 that got any votes. But still, this is a post-league. This is not some conspiracy. And I've seen so many YouTube videos talking about it. And it's like, it is from channels that I will say, like, are watching quite a bit of WNBA. But you have to at least kind of sometimes, if you're going to talk about the grand outcome or context of the league, you got to learn about the history and the fact that bigs historically have been rated as more important than guards. And that Caitlin Clark is different to anything anyone's seen. And I think that is the reason why male basketball fans are gravitating towards Caitlin Clark, who I believe is a better player. Because the fans Caitlin Clark is bringing towards the women's game are fans of the NBA. They're fans of basketball. They're fans of basketball in general. And why they like Caitlin Clark is that she's an extremely exciting player. She's incredibly good to watch. So you're watching Caitlin Clark play, and you're watching a team, and you watch the Iowa team play, who just played his run and gun style. And you're watching a team that tried to make her fit into the status quo of WNBA point guards. But there's a reason why she gets the hype, because she's not the status quo. She then goes and starts taking over. Her teammates get used to it. And it's very clear this style of basketball is going to completely revolutionize the league. Once there's better players around Caitlin Clark, not even her specifically, there might be point guards in this league right now who are better at doing what Caitlin Clark does than Caitlin Clark, but have been reined in by the UConns of the world, by all of these traditional basketball minds. And now, with Caitlin Clark, who's very clearly going to revolutionize the entire sport of women's basketball, things are going to start to change. The bigs are going to become less relevant. They are. They're not going to be completely eradicated from the game, but it's going to be, you're going to see a more guard, more running, more wing league, more wing-like powered league. And it's not all going to just be dump it into the bigs. Rebounding is all that matters. And at the end of the day, look, Caroline Peck was a really successful college basketball coach. She is not being brought on because she is an Angel Reese fan. She's being brought on because of her basketball expertise. Do I think she's wrong? Yeah. I think she gave dumb reasons, just like Monica McNutt did. I think they gave dumb reasons. These are analysts of a sport that is fundamentally different to the sport that Caitlin Clark is playing. The game that Caitlin Clark is playing is fundamentally different to what every expert on women's basketball, your Gino Oriyamas, all of these people who have been in women's basketball, it's all through the bigs. As much as Super Breanna Taurasi was great, it was all about the bigs. And now Caitlin Clark is changing everything. But I'm seeing so many dumb things. Like, again, saying that she was free and she's being blitzed 94 feet. This is just her argument. Her argument is going to be that guards have it easier than bigs. And she even admits it here. She even admits it that she's biased towards post players. And that's fine. Like, look, this is a league where it depends on who the voters are. If the voters are a lot of former players, Angel Reese is going to win. She's going to win, and it's not some conspiracy. It's not something about race. It is literally a case that WNBA experts are all going to choose the big over the guard. They are going to. And things are going to change with the emergence of Caitlin Clark, with Paige Beckers coming in, with Juju Watkins coming in a few years, with Flau'jae coming in. These are exciting guards. And there are so many exciting guards that can do things that the guards of the past couldn't do. As great as Taurasi was, Arika is an exception. As great as Sabrina Ionescu is, Sabrina Ionescu is literally what would happen if Caitlin Clark kind of fit into the mold. And like Sabrina Ionescu is a great passer. Sabrina Ionescu can shoot from Caitlin Clark range. But she doesn't play with the freedom that Caitlin Clark does. Sabrina Ionescu is what would happen if Caitlin Clark went into the mode. But I just want to see on YouTube, Caitlin Clark, ESPN. I just want to see in the last day, some of these videos. I was going to go today. And it is, again, like another delusional ESPN hater. And I've watched these videos breaking ESPN just fired huge shots. It's not that. It's not that. It's nothing to do with some conspiracy against Caitlin Clark. Do the people that ESPN have brought on think Angel Reese Rookie of the Year? Yeah, they do. Not from some conspiracy. Are ESPN bringing them on specifically because they think Angel Reese is the best? No. What they're doing is they're bringing on WNBA experts who have known the history of the league, and the history of the league is not particularly kind to guards like Caitlin Clark, because their job historically has been to get the ball to your big and to fit in rather than fit out. And there's a reason why if you ask any casual fan who the Rookie of the Year is, that is not some sort of weird bias, that is just watching for basketball, they will say Caitlin Clark. Why? Because what Angel Reese does is effective but doesn't look impressive. You're looking at Angel Reese and you're like, oh, she's not really great, is she? Even though she's incredibly effective. Whereas if you're a fan who doesn't really watch much WNBA and you're watching basketball, you're watching what Caitlin Clark does and you're like, oh my God, look at these passes. Jesus, look at the speed this team's playing at. Jeez, the offense. Look at these passes she's doing. Look, oh, she shot from 30. She might be shooting 2 attempts. She still hit 2 from 30. She hit 3 threes out of 4 on step backs. Like, what she's doing is objectively more impressive. But it's also not disrespect to say Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year. Especially if you're somebody who your entire viewpoint and philosophy on basketball is that bigs are more important. If you think the only time a guard is ever going to win over a big, in most WNBA experts' eyes, is if the guard is so much better that you can't argue it. Caitlin Clark has not had so much better rookie year that it's not arguable. I think Caitlin Clark has had a better rookie year by that much. I think it's by that much. And then again, these are post-centric voters, or not post-centric voters, these are post-centric experts that are even saying it's a close Rookie of the Year race. If these people that heavily favor post players are saying that it's even close, it just shows how good Caitlin Clark has been, because there is no guard in the history of the WNBA that is winning Rookie of the Year over what Angel Reese did this year. She might be the only one. So yeah, it is annoying looking at it where it's like people making a bigger deal out of things that aren't a big deal, because there are certain situations where it is an absolute big deal. Whoever it was that came on, every person that attributed Caitlin Clark's success to anything other than basketball, now that's a big deal. Now that is like an actual big deal. That is something that should have been called out at the time and should never be said. Anyone who attributes Angel Reese's success to anything other than basketball, especially her success on the floor, to anything other than basketball, that's a dumb take. That's a take that you can't say. Any of the abuse that either of these players are getting that isn't just simple criticism based on their game is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, saying one historically great rookie is better than another historically great rookie is not like slander. It's not taking a shot. But that's just the way it is in the social media world. And look, ESPN could not care less who wins Rookie of the Year. At the end of the day, they're putting people on the TV ESPN are putting people on the TV that WNBA fanatics will not get angry at. And the problem is a lot of the WNBA fanatics are fans of bigs. They're fans of the way the game is. They probably don't want change. They don't want this new fast style of play that is just blitzing the whole NBA or whole WNBA. So they're going to be happier with people coming on and saying Reese is Rookie of the Year. And you're seeing a lot of the historically hyping up women's basketball accounts are all pro Angel Reese. And I think it's a play style thing more than anything. And Angel Reese is the best at what the WNBA has been for its history. Caitlin Clark is something completely different. So ESPN bringing on people to say Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year. No, it's their attempt to bring on experts. Them not bringing on Rebecca Lobo, I don't know. She just seems to be the one former WNBA player that's really high on Caitlin Clark. But I'm telling you, if you ask Sue Bird is probably going to say Caitlin Clark is Rookie of the Year. Because, again, she owns the Seattle Storm, so she probably doesn't want to say anything because they have a rookie who's obviously not played much at all in Nika Mule. But if you were to ask her off the record who's Rookie of the Year, I'd say she would say Caitlin Clark. If you were to ask a lot of the guards, any point guard in the history of this league, who Rookie of the Year is, Caitlin Clark. If you were to ask Diana Taurasi off the record, she'd probably say Caitlin Clark. If you were to ask Breanna Stewart, she'd say Angel Reese. If you were to ask AJ Wilson, she'd say Angel Reese. That's the thing. That's the thing with it. is that it is just two completely contrasting styles. Both of them, I would say, have been almost equally as effective. Who is my rookie of the year? It's Caitlin Clark, but to say opposite is not disrespect.